Chapter 1701, Killing Rank 8. Chapter 1701, Killing Rank 8. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. A group of Eastern Sea Rank 8 Gu immortals flew along Central Continent's mountain ranges at a low altitude. After Duke Long took the immortal Gu House Dragon Palace by force, he caused Eastern Sea's righteous path, demonic path, and even lone immortal rank 8s to work together. It should be here. Shen Songxing suddenly stopped as he showed a suspicious expression towards the mountain below him. This mountain was very plain, it was surrounded by mountains and was nothing special. This? Hua Kaiyan frowned, shaking her head. I did not find anything with my investigative method. But I feel that this mountain is different. Qing Yuan said. It is here. Granny Rong said with certainty. The surrounding Gu immortals looked toward her. Granny Rong was a poison path Gu immortal. How did she have such incredible attainment in investigative methods? There is an illusion formation here. Song Qi Yuan's eyes shined with crystal light as he spoke. But we do not have any formation path member now. Hua Kaiyan added. Zhang Yin laughed coldly. Why are we hesitating? Let's break into the formation by force. Earlier in Eastern Sea, we were all wary of each other, that allowed Duke Long to succeed. Now, we have set an alliance, we will advance and retreat together, even if Duke Long comes, so what? Ha ha ha, he is right, let's charge in. Song Qi Yuan laughed loudly, attacking. Boom boom boom. Rank 8 Gu immortals had incredible methods. In a chain of explosions, the illusion formation seemed to have shattered, it exposed the true scenery. Below the mountain, there was a huge rock cavern. The cavern had natural dragon markings, it resembled dancing dragons that intertwined together. Eastern Sea's immortals only took a glance before they lost interest in this cavern with dragon markings. They flew into the cave and found that there was a huge hole below. They flew along the path, going down. After passing a long tunnel, light appeared before the immortals' eyes. This is a natural earth trench below the cavern. This is not a new earth trench, it must have existed for a very long time. Is Dragon Palace at the depths of this earth trench? Duke Long took away the immortal Gu house, why did he put it here? Eastern Sea's immortals discussed. The earth trench was unfathomably deep, it was completely dark and eerie. Compared to the earth trench, they were too small, they were like insignificant flies. Roar! Suddenly, an intense gust of wind emerged from the earth trench, blowing upwards. At the same time, the entire earth trench started to shake, the rocks along the cliffs of the earth trench started to fall. The expressions of Eastern Sea's immortals changed, they felt a strong sense of threat. The tremors started abruptly and ended just as abruptly. More than 10 breaths later, the entire earth trench returned to normal. What exactly is down there? No matter what it is, it was able to make all of us feel danger, it is not simple. I want to see what Duke Long is up to. Eastern Sea's immortals were about to explore the depth of the earth trench when rainbow lights started to shine in the earth trench, a super immortal formation appeared and enveloped all of the Gu immortals. They were waiting in ambush. Such an amazing immortal formation. Who is it? An old Central Continent rank 8 Gu immortal appeared before the Eastern Sea immortals. He was wearing a grey robe, he was covered in a deep level of sadness all over his body. Eastern Sea's rank 8s were very knowledgeable, they quickly recognized this Central Continent rank 8 expert. Oh. You are Wind Cloud Manor's Old Man Beifong. Old Man Beifong sighed. Yes indeed, you have come here to attack Hidden Dragon Cave, it is very unwise. With me here, no matter what objective you have, you will not succeed. Hidden Dragon Cave. This is Hidden Dragon Cave. Many Eastern Sea Gu immortals felt greatly shocked. Hidden Dragon Cave contained the legendary immemorial desolate beast Di Zongsheng, everyone knew that. But its location had never been exposed. Old Man Beifong was originally able to become a heavenly court member, but because his beloved grandson Feng Chanzi made a mistake, Old Man Bei Feng took the punishment together and they were tasked to guard over Di Zongsheng in Hidden Dragon Cave. Because of specific reasons, Duke Long placed the rank 8 Immortal Gu House Dragon Palace here. These Eastern Sea Gu immortals searched for clues and found their way to Hidden Dragon Cave. Puff! Old Man Bei Feng's body shook as he activated the Super Immortal Formation. This Super Immortal Formation was able to trap Di Zongsheng. It was naturally very powerful. Eastern Sea's Gu immortals were all swept by its power, their eyes blurred as they found that they were trapped in a huge space after regaining their vision, isolated from each other. At the next moment, Eastern Sea's immortals struck and attacked their surroundings. A rank 8 battle was about to begin. At the same time, immortals acted all over Central Continent. Mountain Tortoise Valley. Inside the valley, walls were steep, almost perpendicular to the ground. Demonic Path Gu Immortal 9 Ghost Fingers sneaked in here. He looked at the mountain tortoises here with a look of desire. There were many mountain tortoises, they filled the entire valley, among them were gigantic desolate beast mountain tortoises. Mountain tortoises that are rare in Eastern Sea are common in southern border and Central Continent. This mountain tortoise valley is the largest mountain tortoise breeding ground in Central Continent. He he he. 9 Ghost Finger laughed smugly to himself. This was originally the resource point governed by Spirit Butterfly Valley of the 10 Great Ancient Sections. But now, the Gu Immortal guarding this place was drawn away to protect a certain Refinement Path Convention area. However, even though the person left, they left behind warning methods. 9 Ghost Finger did not enter abruptly, he stayed outside and investigated for a long time, realizing the truth. This was an Earth Path Immortal killer move. Let me see how to unravel this method. 9 Ghost Finger's eyes shined brightly, his 10 fingers quickly deduced and they flew all over the place. His fingers moved fast, alternating between real and phantom. There were originally 10 fingers but soon, only 9 finger phantoms were left. 9 Ghost Fingers' Wisdom Path inheritance was very unique. The missing finger represented the one in the Great Tao that fled, it was the most profound heavenly secret. 1. 9 Ghost Finger only secondarily cultivated Wisdom Path, he primarily cultivated Soul Path. His fingers danced as he muttered phrases to himself. The more he deduced, the more his eyes shined with brilliance. And meanwhile, countless li away in Moonlight Mound, a serious battle ensued. Rank 7 Lone Immortal Xia Baoshu floated in the sky, his aura was grand as he attacked Moonlight Mound with a barrage of attacks. He was dressed in a blue robe, he looked like a scholar with a handsome jade face, he had the appearance of a good-looking young man. His opponent, the female immortal guarding Moonlight Mound, was in a sad state, she said furiously, Xia Baoshu, you are not worthy of being a famous lone immortal of Eastern Sea, you actually acted so demonically and tried to plunder Moonlight Mound. Go and steal from the 10 great ancient sects if you dare, we are both lone immortals yet you still target me. Back then, I bought your Ye Gu, I had given you business. Xia Baoshu sighed, Fairy Yu Hua, unless I had no choice, I would not do this. My Ye Gu business has flopped, I need another source of income. If you can give me half of your moonlight mushrooms, I will leave now without question. The Central Continent female immortal wanted to cough out blood, I had spent 30 years nurturing my moonlight mushrooms and put in huge effort, you want half of them now, you are dreaming. Even if I cannot defeat you, you will not have them, before I escape, I will destroy the entire Moonlight Mound. Can you? Suddenly, a soft whisper was heard behind the Central Continent female immortal. Ambush. The female immortal was very shocked, someone had actually sneaked behind her without her noticing. Who? The female immortal wanted to turn around and check but at the next moment, her vision went dark as she fainted. Xianxia stood above Moonlight Mound as he looked at the Central Continent female immortal, before turning to Xia Baoshu with a smile. Xianxia specialized in theft path, he was the Gu immortal most skilled at collecting earth trench black oil in Eastern Sea. His appearance was ugly and he looked like a lecher, but he was best friends with Xia Baoshu. Xia Baoshu came to Central Continent for resources, Xianxia naturally came to help. Inside rumor cage. Fang Yuan shouted as he unleashed immortal killer move Myriad Dragon. Myriad dragons flew and fought against the countless silver tigers. At once, dragons and tigers fought. There were beautiful silver sparkles when they fought, amidst deep killing intent. After a few breaths of time, the dragons fell in numbers. They were not the tigers' match. Fang Yuan's face was grim as he continued to activate Myriad Dragon, holding his own. Lord Zhou Xianxia's methods are truly powerful. This combination is amazing. Using rumor cage, malicious rumors, and rumors become tigers. His battle strength is increasing endlessly. The longer this drags on, the more disadvantage it is for Fang Yuan. But he is in a desperate situation. He can no longer escape. The three Central Continent rank 8s watched by the side, guarding the formation from a corner. Zhou Xianxia alone was able to suppress Fang Yuan. Any Heavenly Court Gu immortal would have incredible talent. They were genius experts. Normally, I only have upper-tier rank 8 battle strength. I am inferior to Li Huang. But with my information path advantage, using Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable's killer move and borrowing the wills of Central Continent's countless humans, my battle strength will continue to grow. At this rate, I will eventually kill Fang Yuan through attrition. Even though Zhou Xianxia had the advantage, he did not become careless. Even though he had just woken up, a huge amount of information had allowed him to gain a deep understanding of Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan's great strength, craftiness, and threat was deeply etched into Zhou Xianxia's mind. Information path and human path. Heavenly Court truly has deep foundations. By just sending a counter, I am in deep trouble. Fang Yuan looked at Zhou Xianxia as he sighed to himself. The enemy did not expose any weaknesses. They were very vigilant against Fang Yuan and used all sorts of investigative methods. Any sort of commotion would be detected. Fang Yuan's countless battle tactics could not be used. Fang Yuan had become rank 8 for a very short period of time. He was reliant on Reverse Flow Protection Seal and Luo Pa Seal, and others to stabilize his battle strength at upper tier rank 8. In earlier fights, he was either in the 5 regions regional walls, 5 regional mountain range, or the River of Time. Fang Yuan could use the environment or other people to his advantage, shortening the difference in strength between him and the enemies. But now, he was deep in Central Continent. He was countered by a true rank 8 grade expert. In terms of information path, he had too shallow attainment. Human path was worse. Forget it, the probing ends here. It is time to use my territorial advantage. Fang Yuan's lips moved as he exposed a crafty smile. At the next moment, his ambush was activated. Rumble. A huge formation activated in the outer world of Central Continent. Rumor cage was like an egg. It was smashed by the terrifying force. Why is there a formation here? Central Continent's 4 immortals were shocked and furious. Make a guess. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, turning into the immemorial year monkey as he jumped towards Zhou Xianxia, punching with his fist. Rumor cage broke. The backlash made Zhou Xianxia spat out mouthfuls of blood. Time path method activated. Time was slowed in the surroundings. Zhou Xianxia could not dodge in time. He was hit by Fang Yuan's fist as he crashed to the ground. Quick, save Lord Zhou Xianxia. Let's attack together. The other 3 Gu immortals charged at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan laughed sinisterly. The formation activated again, stalling the 3 rank 8s for a breath of time. Using this chance, Fang Yuan's huge body descended as he landed before Zhou Xianxia, who was like a rag doll. Immortal killer move, Spring Scissors. A huge pair of scissors was held in the monkey's hands. The blades were tens of feet long. They stabbed into the soil on the ground. Next, the huge scissors snipped. The ground was like a soft piece of tofu when compared to the sharp blades. Crack. With a soft sound, the scissors closed up as the 2 blades met. Blood splattered. Zhou Xianxia's head flew in the sky before it landed on the ground. Zhou Xianxia had died. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1702, Common Enemy Hatred. Chapter 1702, common enemy hatred. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. More than half of Imprisonment Valley's southern thorns were stolen by a mysterious Gu immortal. Red River Beach's immortal formation was destroyed, the blazing red stones inside were all plundered by 3 Gu immortals. Someone wants to steal Falling Heavenly River's primeval sand, he was forced away by Heaven's Envy Manor's immortal killer move that was left behind. Fairy Ziwei took command in Heavenly Court, observing the situation of the entire central continent. All of these news made her frown more tightly. She was furious. The huge central continent had abundant resources and talents. Heavenly Court's leaders and central continent's 10 great ancient sects had worked effortlessly for countless generations to create this prosperity. But now, because of these thieves, it was a huge mess. Meanwhile, Duke Long sat in his seat and listened to Fairy Ziwei report the disastrous news. His face was extremely calm. No matter, so what if we lose some resources? They are just tiny problems. Duke Long said as he shut his eyes, resting as his arm supported his chin. Fairy Ziwei breathed in deeply, telling herself to calm down, but at the next moment, her eyes widened as she said angrily, Fang Yuan has already escaped, 3 of our central continent rank 8s were injured, while Senior Zhou Xianxia, he was killed by Fang Yuan. Oh. A sharp light flashed in Duke Long's eyes, he stopped resting as he sat up straight, saying, Zhou Xianxia was specially chosen to fight Fang Yuan, he had the greatest strength among them but was actually killed by Fang Yuan while the rest escaped with injuries. There must be a reason. Where is the battle report? Here. Fairy Ziwei handed an information path Gu worm to Duke Long. The battle report was very detailed, because other than Zhou Xianxia, the other 3 central continent rank 8s were alive. After seeing the report, the hall went silent. Long after, Fairy Ziwei said, I originally thought that Fang Yuan killed Senior Zhou Xianxia using Luo Pasil, to think that the killer move used was Spring Scissors. According to this intel, Spring Scissors was modified again. And most importantly, when Fang Yuan transformed into the immemorial Year Monkey, his battle strength has broken through to the peak of rank 8. Saying so, Fairy Ziwei sighed deeply. She had known that Fang Yuan was a threat long ago. If he was allowed to grow freely, he would become a huge problem. Fairy Ziwei had expected this to happen, but she did not expect that this day would come so quickly. How long has Fang Yuan become a Gu immortal? In just the blink of an eye, he became rank 8. And with another blink, he reached the peak of rank 8, even my battle strength is only at upper tier rank 8 level. At once, Fairy Ziwei felt a little dejected. Duke Long looked at Fairy Ziwei as he said slowly in a low tone, Ziwei, don't look down on yourself. Fang Yuan grew rapidly not just because of his talent, he also had external help. He was chosen by Red Lotus Demon Venerable and obtained Spring-Autumn Cicada. He also got Spectral Soul's true inheritance and inherited Shadow Sect. He even has Ghostly Concealment, that is part of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. And don't forget, with the collapse of 88 True Yang Building, how many benefits did Fang Yuan get from Giant Sun Immortal Venerable? We are already paying a lot of attention to him, your measures were not wrong. The reason why we failed was not just because of Fang Yuan, but also because of the forces affecting him. We are not eliminating Fang Yuan alone, we are also contesting the forces that surround him. These are either immortal venerables or demon venerables, they were the reason Fang Yuan could grow to this extent. Fairy Ziwei heard this and showed a shameful expression, I had lost my cool and stability, thank you for the reminder, Lord Duke Long. Duke Long smiled faintly, I am not consoling you, this is just a fact. However, even though Fang Yuan has peak rank 8 battle strength, as long as he is not rank 9, he cannot overturn our heavenly court. Zhou Xianxian's death was clearly reported, it was because Fang Yuan used an immortal formation to destroy Rumor Cage. Fang Yuan is crafty and vicious, he purposely stalled for time and made Rumor Cage stronger with the will of Central Continent's people, far beyond its original capabilities. By destroying it afterwards, Zhou Xianxia suffered immense backlash that he could not endure, causing him to be heavily injured. Even though the remaining 3 rank 8s tried to help immediately, Fang Yuan was prepared and used the formation to disrupt them. By turning into the immemorial year monkey and gaining peak rank 8 battle strength, he caught everyone off guard and killed Zhou Xianxia. Fang Yuan had always been pretending to be weak. Using rumor cage, he harmed our Gu immortal. Even though Zhou Xianxia was very vigilant, he still fell for Fang Yuan's trap. Actually, if both sides fought fairly, even if Fang Yuan had peak rank 8 battle strength, he could not kill Zhou Xianxia. The battle afterwards could prove this point. Our 3 rank 8s fought together and retreated. Fang Yuan could not retain them. Fairy Ziwei nodded continuously. Duke Long's analysis was the same as hers. She agreed, there is no strongest immortal Gu, only strongest Gu immortal. Fang Yuan has grown fully now, he has powerful methods and vicious plans, he is also ruthless and achieves outstanding results. Right now, he has peak rank 8 battle strength. Our arrangements earlier were all disrupted. Should we send Li Huang to deal with him? Duke Long shook his head. Li Huang must continue to guard the Refinement Convention. Restoring fate is the most important goal, we cannot divert anyone away from that objective. Even if we make Li Huang go after Fang Yuan, he has fixed immortal travel. Even if teleportation fails, Fang Yuan would still want to waste Li Huang's time. After all, he is not the only person who wants to disrupt the restoration of fate. We cannot fumble at this moment. Yes, Lord Duke Long. Fairy Ziwei had regained her calm already. Even though Duke Long was not a wisdom path Gu immortal, he was in charge of Heavenly Court. His disposition was extraordinary. He was like a huge pillar stabilizing and holding up the entire situation. Let alone peak rank 8 battle strength, even if Fang Yuan was a pseudo-immortal venerable with the same strength as Duke Long, so what? Duke Long believed that with Heavenly Court's foundation, they would definitely be able to repair Fate Gu. Even if Fang Yuan caused much trouble, as long as he was not a rank 9 venerable, he could not change the situation. Duke Long was most concerned about the progress of the Refinement Convention. He looked at the other person in the hall, asking, Lord Jing Yuan, how has the activation of common enemy hatred killer move gone? The person in question was an old man. He had many wrinkles on his face, he was thin and dry like a stick, he was truly resembling a man about to step into his grave. He sat on a stone bench and was curled up due to his hunchback. He breathed slowly and lightly, his aura was so weak that it would not be strange if he died now. But his seniority surpassed Duke Long. Even though he had rank 7 cultivation level, he was a member of Heavenly Court. He was old man Jing Yuan. Because of Fate Gu's restoration, he had woken up from the immortal graveyard. Normally speaking, Heavenly Court only recruited rank 8 Gu immortals, and those had to be elites among elites. But old man Jing Yuan only had rank 7 cultivation level, yet he was acknowledged and recruited into Heavenly Court. The most important reason was because old man Jing Yuan cultivated a special path, human path. The concept of human path had existed from very long ago. It originated from the person who everyone living in this world knew, Renzu. The legends of Renzu left behind by Renzu could be said as the greatest, oldest, and most mystical inheritance in human history. The legends of Renzu contain the profundities of human path. Many great geniuses were able to gain some sort of comprehension from reading it. These gains were usually spectacular and shocking to everyone. Heavenly Court thought of itself as humanity's leader. They had accumulated countless human path methods. These were one of Duke Long's greatest sources of confidence. Old man Jing Yuan spoke in a weak voice. Back then, when the 18 variant human demonic immortals attacked primordial origin immortal venerable, he was invincible in the world. After the 18 variant human demonic immortals lost terribly, they were unresigned and tried to deceive the immortal venerable. Primordial origin immortal venerable was troubled and sat in the formation for 3 days and nights, thinking deeply and unable to regain his senses. After reading the legends of Renzu, he broke through the confusion in his heart, creating many human path killer moves such as countless lifeforms, people's united hearts, and common enemy hatred. I am merely a key to activate primordial origin immortal venerable's remnant methods. I do not deserve the title of Lord, please address me by my name, Duke Long. Old man Jing Yuan was very humble. Right now, countless lifeforms has already been activated. The killer move common enemy hatred is also effective in the whole of central continent. Now, as long as we can gather enough human will to a certain degree, we will be able to use the killer move people's united hearts. Good. Duke Long smiled, "This is good, with common enemy hatred, Central Continent's people will be united in their anger and hatred, the Refinement Path Convention will definitely continue smoothly." Central Continent, Mystical Body Sect. This sect was created by a Supreme Elder of Wind Cloud Manor, Wu Fa. It was also a competition location of this Central Continent Refinement Path Convention. After the initial selection, those that could compete here were all experts in Gu refinement. There were thousands of Gu masters in the square, each had their own space as they refined Gu. The entire square was covered in a thick wall of light. Rank 7 Gu immortal Wu Fa was staying here, protecting the place. Half the time had passed, most Gu masters had failed already. Some people had soot on their face, some were pitiful and their arms were blown to bits, bloody holes appeared in their chest. Gu refinement was a dangerous process, any distraction and they would suffer huge injuries. Another Gu master faced an accident during Gu refinement as he fainted on the spot. The formation below the square's floor tiles activated, this Gu master was teleported outside as healing Gu masters gathered and quickly treated him. This person had made a mistake while handling the Gu materials, the poison from the materials seeped into his body, causing him to faint. Soon, he was saved and managed to wake up. Even though you woke up, your limbs are weak and your mind is fuzzy, you cannot continue with the competition. The healing Gu master felt pity for him, he was not weak, many people thought he would succeed. This person laughed, "So what if I failed? According to the great immortals, even if I fail in the competition, it will still benefit Central Continent. It will benefit the righteous path. Those demonic path immortals are trying their best to ruin our Refinement Path Convention, they killed so many innocent lives. Even though we are mortals, we cannot give up on resisting them. Participating in the Refinement Path Convention and keeping it going is our revenge against them." Even though his voice was weak, his content was firm, it felt like clashing swords. "Good lad." The healing Gu master gave a thumbs up, "I think so too, those murderers are no immortals, they have no empathy at all. We must resist, we cannot let them win." Right at this moment, a change occurred in the square. Two young Gu masters stood up, holding a Gu worm in their hands. One of them was Hong Yi, he shouted, "I succeeded." "Good, both of you succeeded, you will share the ranking of number 1. According to the rules, you can get a small reward from our sect." Gu immortal Wu Fa's voice resounded in the square, everyone started to envy them. The two young Gu masters looked at each other, they were neither too far nor too close to each other, one was at the center of the square while the other was at the northeast corner. "Report your names." Wu Fa said, he did not show up, but upon inspecting these two winners, his opinion of them increasingly grew, they were both very handsome and had great cultivation levels. "I am Hong Yi." Hong Yi said. "My name is Yi Fan." The other young man also spoke. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 1703, Avoiding the Limelight Temporarily. Chapter 1703, Avoiding the Limelight Temporarily. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. White clouds moved beside him, winds howled by his ears, Fang Yuan flew rapidly in the sky. A trace of blood was still at the corner of his lips, in the intense battle against rank 8s earlier, he did not leave unscathed. Especially at the end, after his plot succeeded in killing Zhou Xiong Xian, the remaining 3 rank 8s decided to escape, they cooperated and broke Fang Yuan's formation. This formation was not made by Fang Yuan, Shadow Sect had created it long ago using the natural Dao marks of the area, it was a natural super formation. This super immortal formation had great power, it was similar to the one that Fang Yuan used to capture Xianxia and the rest. This immortal formation was usually concealed without any exposed traces, Shadow Sect created it so that the organization Defy could have a base camp when the time was ripe. Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects occupied their own territory, they had the most resources. The righteous path, lone immortals, and demonic immortals were all desperately trying to survive between the cracks of these 10 great ancient sects. But the sect system was different from the clan system, they only focused on talents. Many cultivation geniuses did not lack talent, they lacked cultivation resources, it was the cause of their stagnation. As time passed, these people naturally developed lots of conflict with the central continent 10 great ancient sects. Shadow sect thought of this and secretly gathered the Gu immortals who were unhappy with the 10 great ancient sects, creating a loose organization that was very secretive, known as Defy. Defy was similar to Zombie Alliance, it was a branch of Shadow sect. This was similar to the 10 great ancient sects and Heavenly Court. Shadow sect had placed some hope in Defy, but unfortunately, it was not Fairy Z-Way's match even though it tried to hide. Right now, Defy was no more, Fairy Z-Way held great credit in completely eradicating it. Since Fang Yuan showed up and destroyed the competition locations of the Central Continent Refinement Convention, he had also thought about possible Heavenly Court pursuers. This super formation was his trump card. When he realized something amiss, he escaped to this location without going anywhere else. Zhou Xianxia used Rumor Cage Killer move and trapped Fang Yuan, feeling overjoyed, but he did not think that this was Fang Yuan's ambush from the very beginning. The Super Immortal formation did not let down Fang Yuan's expectations. When he used it, he immediately broke Rumor Cage's connection with the outside world, before completely crushing this immortal battlefield. Next, the Immortal formation even stopped 3 rank 8s for a breath of time, so that Fang Yuan had the crucial time to kill Zhou Xianxia. Finally, using the Immortal formation, Fang Yuan fought against the remaining 3 rank 8s, but the Immortal formation had already expended itself. This kind of Immortal formation created using natural Dao marks had a weakness as well, the environment could be destroyed. The 3 Central Continent rank 8s knew this and managed to destroy the Immortal formation. The Immortal formation was destroyed. Fang Yuan also suffered a backlash like Zhou Xianxia. Immortal killer moves were like this, the stronger they were, the greater the backlash when they got broken, they were simply double-edged swords. But Fang Yuan was mentally prepared, he was not caught unguarded like Zhou Xianxia. The 3 Central Continent rank 8s did not use this chance, they were bent on retreating. Fang Yuan did not have an immortal battlefield or an immortal formation to obstruct them, they were able to escape. He had peak rank 8 battle strength, he could defeat these 3 people, but killing them was too hard. Unless he could trap them or make use of a rare opportunity like how he killed Zhou Xianxia. Normally, Fang Yuan relied on Luo Pasil, Spring Scissors, Winter Coat, 5-Finger Fist Heart Sword, and other methods to maintain his upper-tier rank 8 battle strength. He worked hard to raise these many immortal Gu, it was not for fun. But when he became the immemorial Year Monkey, his battle strength would rise to peak rank 8. The difference was because of his Dao marks. In the contest for the Red Lotus True Inheritance, Fang Yuan neither won nor lost. In the Dragon Palace contest, Fang Yuan lost. But afterwards, Heaven form did not disappoint, it finally found the hidden location of the crucial immortal Gu inside Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven. Fang Yuan had also used the Dream Realm to raise his transformation path attainment level during this period. He first used Familiar Face to disguise himself before entering the Grotto Heaven and using his theft path methods to steal all of the immortal Gu inside. Even though that Beast Calamity Heavenly Spirit was clear-minded, how could it compare to the crafty Fang Yuan? At this point, Fang Yuan no longer had any concerns, he changed his identity again and inherited the Beast Calamity True Inheritance. The pitiful Beast Calamity Heavenly Spirit was completely deceived, even when Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven got annexed, it did not discover Fang Yuan's true identity. This Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven was a crucial turning point. Normally speaking, an earthly calamity gave a Gu immortal 250 Dao marks, heavenly tribulation was 750, grand tribulation was 7,250, while myriad tribulations were even higher, at 86,750. These were just the average numbers, some calamities and tribulations were more ferocious and Gu immortals would gain more Dao marks for passing them. Rank 7 Gu immortals faced an earthly calamity every 10 years, while rank 8 Gu immortals faced a heavenly tribulation every 10 years. Rank 7 Gu immortals faced a heavenly tribulation every 50 years, while rank 8 Gu immortals faced a grand tribulation every 50 years. Rank 7 Gu immortals faced a grand tribulation every 100 years, while rank 8 Gu immortals faced a myriad tribulation every 100 years. One myriad tribulation gave 80,000 Dao marks. It was more than 10 times of a grand tribulation. This was also the reason why rank 8 Gu immortals often suppressed rank 7, the difference in their Dao marks was just too high. Fang Yuan annexed Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven, which had already passed one myriad tribulation. Even though the Grotto Heaven's original owner, Beast Calamity Immortal, died after the first myriad tribulation, the Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven that he left behind passed many calamities and tribulations afterwards. It was not far from its second myriad tribulation. That was to say, forget about all the other Dao marks in Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven, just in terms of transformation path Dao marks alone, it had more than 100,000. And Fang Yuan himself already had nearly 100,000 transformation path Dao marks. He originally had 50,000, but he killed many Heavenly Court rank 7 experts in the River of Time, he annexed a lot of blessed lands and gained a lot of Dao marks from various paths. Thus, after annexing Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven, his transformation path Dao marks reached 200,000. This number was terrifying. Rank 8 Gu immortals who cultivate transformation path would need to pass 2 myriad tribulations in order to obtain so many transformation path Dao marks. Bo Qing was a rank 8 Gu immortal who had passed 2 myriad tribulations, Duke Long was too. When Fang Yuan transforms into the immemorial year monkey, these transformation path Dao marks would turn into time path Dao marks. Don't forget, after annexing Xianxia's Grotto Heaven, Fang Yuan had 70,000 time path Dao marks. In the River of Time, he killed the 3 Xuanzi and annexed their immortal apertures, his time path Dao marks surpassed 100,000. 200,000 added with 100,000, after becoming an immemorial year monkey, Fang Yuan would have a total of 300,000 time path Dao marks. What did that imply? If a rank 8 Gu immortal cultivated time path without any special fortuitous encounters, they would need to pass a third myriad tribulation. But after passing a myriad tribulation, they would be a rank 9 venerable. Of course, rank 9 Gu venerables would definitely have more than 300,000 Dao marks, this was just a starting point. Even so, in terms of time path Dao marks, Fang Yuan had reached pseudo-immortal venerable level. Along with his rank 8 time path immortal Gu and many useful rank 8 time path killer moves, his battle strength was to the extent of peak rank 8. Earlier, when Fang Yuan fought against Li Huang, he used Luo Pa Seal and could not break through Luo Pa Seal's verdant sun flame cloak. But now, Fang Yuan became the immemorial year monkey, he was looking forward to the clash between spring scissors and verdant sun flame cloak. But against Duke Long, it will still be difficult. Fang Yuan's gaze was deep. There were many things that influenced battle strength, Dao marks were one aspect, immortal Gu were also another aspect, the immortal aperture's foundation was another, and number of methods was also one. Fang Yuan did not lack Dao marks. He had 3 time path immortal Gu, it was just passable. But in terms of killer moves, he was too weak, even though he modified Spring Scissors killer move multiple times and raised its strength, the core was unchanged. He only had these few moves. As for Duke Long, Fang Yuan had witnessed his fight against Purple Mountain True Monarch, be it Transformation Path or Chi Path Dao marks, he had at least 300,000 Dao marks. Duke Long also had more than 3 rank 8 immortal Gu for sure. Duke Long's immortal killer moves were numerous and profound, especially moves like Triple Chi Retraction, it was a divine technique that could not be guarded against. Because of all these elements, Duke Long had pseudo-immortal venerable battle strength. Pseudo-immortal venerable had the word venerable in it, it was not easy to achieve. Precisely so, Duke Long was able to obtain immortal Gu House Dragon Palace in front of all the Eastern Sea Gu immortals, this showed how powerful he was. Even though he got injured in the process. Pseudo-immortal venerable was still not an immortal venerable, the difference between the two was night and day. Fang Yuan did not lack confidence, he was filled with confidence in himself, but this was built upon his self-awareness. He knew very clearly how strong he really was. Thus, Fang Yuan was wary of Duke Long simply because his battle strength was not on par with the latter. This human path people's accusation killer move is getting stronger. Even though I have little understanding of human path, I can see that the situation is getting worse. Fang Yuan frowned lightly. He had deep wisdom path attainment that even Fairy Zi did not dare to underestimate. The emotions of wisdom path Gu immortals were usually not without reason, they were mostly premonition. I cannot resolve people's accusation using Emperor Yama. The more times I show up in Central Continent and the longer I stay, the stronger this people's accusation killer move becomes. But now, the real fight has not started yet, even though many incidents have occurred in Central Continent, they are just small scuffles. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan made up his mind, raising a troop just for a single battle, it is time to let them out. In the battle against Zhou Xiong earlier, Fang Yuan waited patiently but did not get to meet Duke Long. Now that the super immortal formation was destroyed, Fang Yuan had no confidence of facing Duke Long alone. To be honest, Duke Long's refusal to show up was giving Fang Yuan immense pressure and threat, he had to conceal his traces and reduce the risks involved. Next, I will let Bai Ningbing and the rest cause havoc everywhere. I should try and lay low now, this great battle has just begun. Fang Yuan's eyes shined with a cold light. TL note, this chapter is speculation from Fang Yuan's point of view and understanding, not necessarily established facts. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1704, Chaos in Central Continent. Chapter 1704, Chaos in Central Continent. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Central Continent. There was an untroubled island floating in the sky, Carefree Island, this was the territory of Grand Pavilion Sect. A round of the Gu refinement competition was about to end. The 3 Gu immortals defending Carefree Island also relaxed. One looked outside at the clouds as he stretched his body, it is finally over, this is the most tiring experience I've ever had in guarding the Refinement Path Convention. Huh, that's true. But there is no helping it, that demon Fang Yuan is too vicious, many people from other regions are also holding ill intent. After this mission is over, I will treat you guys to wine. Oh. Your 9-flow wine is very famous, to think that I would get to taste it. Hahaha, it is an exaggeration. The Gu immortal who was praised quickly waved his hand but suddenly, his expression froze. Guh. He had a shocked expression as his body turned stiff, he fell down onto the ground, dead. Be careful. Enemy attack. His soul has dissipated. The remaining 2 rank 7 Gu immortals were shocked, they activated their defensive methods. Next, they saw that the Gu masters in the competition fell one by one, they had all died. The 2 Gu immortals staring with a furious expression as they watched, right when they were about to complete their mission, they were attacked. They are so vicious, to be actually attacking mortal Gu masters. Quickly come out, which demonic coward is it, you only dare to sneak attack. The 2 Gu immortals shouted. The competition grounds were in chaos, people continued to fall. You want to see me? A smile resounded, I will grant you your wish. Amidst his laughter, Xianxia appeared. Demon, go and die. The 2 Gu immortals gritted their teeth, they moved and attacked. Xianxia stood on the spot without moving, he smiled as he looked at the 2 with a mocking gaze. The 2 Gu immortals were still moving when their expressions suddenly changed, their speed fell drastically. We are already hit. But earlier. What move is this? The 2 rank 7 Gu immortals fell on the ground, watching as Xianxia walked towards them. Xianxia smiled, keeping the 3 Gu immortal corpses. Lord Sect Leader wants your immortal apertures after all. He gave a final glance at the competition ground, there was nobody standing anymore, it was a field of corpses. A moment later, Xianxia flew out of Carefree Island, the entire island was filled with dead silence, not a single living being remained. At the same time, at the upper stream of Scale Light River. Hey Lulan shouted, obstructing me with a mere immortal formation. Before she finished her words, her aura surged and filled the world, radiating towards her surroundings, causing huge winds to gather and blow. Boom! An immortal formation was unleashed. The immortal formation that had its maximum defense put up was shattered. Puff puff puff. The Gu immortals defending this place spat out blood as they suffered a backlash. He Lulan laughed sinisterly as strength path phantoms appeared around her, charging towards the Gu immortals. 100-segment forest. Bai Ningbing stepped on the snow as she walked slowly. The green and lush bamboo forest had been frozen entirely. It was like a bug trapped in amber, unable to move at all. The grassland was covered in thick snow, there was no vitality left. On the competition stage at the center of the bamboo forest, hundreds of mortal Gu masters were frozen into statues, not a person survived. Bai Ningbing, He Lulan, and Ning Wuxia had been cultivating on the Stone Lotus Island. After Future Self Killer move was used on them, they could use their Future Self's battle strength. They became elites among rank 7 Gu immortals. Ordinary characters were not their match. Seeing this result, Fang Yuan was pleased. Having the help of Future Self, these three grew rapidly and had the qualifications to join this huge battle. These three are geniuses with exemplary talent. Once their battle strength rose, they immediately made other rank 7s look weak. Now, it will depend on Heavenly Court's response. Heavenly Court. After getting the new information, Fairy Ziwei's expression turned grim again. She commanded Heavenly Court and spent a huge price to collect Time Path immortal materials from Treasure Yellow Heaven. In the end, she did not manage to restrict Fang Yuan's growth. Even his three subordinates had such great strength now. After the information got to Duke Long, he looked at the scene of the battle as bright light shined in his eyes. He was visibly moved. Fairy Ziwei could not tell, but Duke Long knew at once. He was silent for a while before saying, "Fang Yuan, I actually underestimated you." Fairy Ziwei was confused. "Lord Duke Long, what do you mean?" "The reason why these three gained a huge burst in strength is because of Killer Move, Future Self," Duke Long said in a deep tone. "Future Self? This was created by my first disciple. Back then, he used Spring-Autumn Cicada to rebirth and lost his venerable cultivation level. To make up for this problem, he invented Future Self Killer Move," Duke Long answered. It was now Fairy Ziwei's turn to feel shocked. Her brows were tight, she was in disbelief. "I have already inspected Spectral Soul's memories. The Red Lotus True Inheritance that he obtained does not contain Future Self. This means that Fang Yuan already has one Red Lotus True Inheritance. Otherwise, how could he obtain Future Self? The River of Time was clearly locked down by us." Duke Long shook his head. "There is no point in discussing this anymore. It seems we need to pay close attention to Fang Yuan now. He might have some special methods in his possession." Duke Long no longer looked down on Fang Yuan. Or rather, he did not dare to look down on Red Lotus Demon Venerable. At once, Fairy Ziwei and Old Man Zheng Yuan felt a heavy emotion. The trauma that Red Lotus Demon Venerable created enveloped them again. But next, Fang Yuan vanished completely. Only Bai Ningbing, He Lulan, and Ning Wuxia attacked with countless victories, causing chaos in Central Continent. What is Fang Yuan doing? Is he secretly saving up strength for a huge commotion? Fang Yuan did not act. It made Heavenly Court feel terrible. This was the same feeling as facing a notched arrow. They were worried about when he would shoot. Fang Yuan was waiting. But Duke Long never showed up personally. The situation is getting worse. Fang Yuan gritted his teeth, feeling that the situation was bad. Duke Long did not show up, even though Central Continent's Refinement Path Convention met with lots of obstacles. Regardless of sacrifices, it still continued. Especially when the competition was ongoing with fewer and fewer Gu masters left, the number of locations also shrunk. Central Continent's members were no longer as dispersed. The strength at each location grew evidently. Bai Ningbing, He Lulan and the rest had to work together now. If they were alone, they could not destroy the competition grounds. Longevity Heaven also did not show up in time for Fang Yuan. At the start of the Central Continent Refinement Path Convention, Bing Sichuan had contacted Fang Yuan. he wanted them to work together and destroy this Refinement Path Convention, to thwart Heavenly Court's plans. But until now, Longevity Heaven had not responded. Shadow Sect and I alone are not able to stop this competition, unless another strong force joins us. Fang Yuan knew clearly. Even though Shadow Sect killed many and obstructed the progress of the convention, as long as Duke Long remained unmoved, this competition would still continue with firm determination. And because Duke Long remained unmoved, the other 4 regions' Gu immortals felt threatened, they did not dare to act. This was Duke Long's wisdom. Thus, Fang Yuan had to be the vanguard. Even though he seemed to be winning greatly, the truth was that the situation was still under Duke Long's control. From Fang Yuan's perspective, Central Continent's situation had not turned around. What should he do? After thinking over it for a long time, Fang Yuan decided to change his tactic. He stopped Bai Ningbing and the rest from attacking competition locations. Instead, they started to plunder resource points. Central Continent had abundant resources and even more resources in storage. For each location that Bai Ningbing and the rest plundered, Fang Yuan would put up the video in Treasure Yellow Heaven, for all other Gu immortals to see. This tactic did not work well for the first few days. Even though Bai Ningbing and the rest had great gains, Fang Yuan was not happy. But days later, more chaos ensued. Northern Plains Sleeping Lady suddenly moved and attacked Combat Immortal Sex formation, plundering a resource point completely. Gu immortals that resembled Xiao Huqi and Xiao Shirang attacked Glass Mountain Range, completely emptying out the Super Force's territory. The 3 Gu immortals that were stationed there died. An immemorial immortal material that was en route to Immortal Crane's sect was attacked by a bunch of mysterious Gu immortals midway. The immemorial immortal material was stolen. Several days passed, more and more chaos broke out. It was truly a scene of raging flames. All sorts of famous resource points were plundered, some were about to be robbed. Gu immortals could be seen all over Central Continent, moving actively at every corner. Ha ha ha, the people's hearts are finally moved. At a secret location, Fang Yuan laughed heartily. His scheme was vicious. He made good use of others' greed. If he incited forces or Gu immortals to attack forcefully and destroy the Refinement Path Convention, they would be hesitant. But if he pushed them to attack and rob resource points, avoiding conflict with Heavenly Court in the process, it was hard for them to resist the temptation. At the same time, these resources obtained would tempt the Gu immortals further. Their greed and desire would be amplified as time passed. As for those Gu immortals watching on the fence, how could they sit by and watch others plunder this many resources? Could they not feel anxious? After all, there was a finite amount of resources. If others got them first, they would not be able to obtain anything later. Fang Yuan changed his tactic and gained great results immediately. The whole of Central Continent fell into chaos. Western Desert, Southern Border, Eastern Sea, and Northern Plains Gu immortals appeared consecutively. Even lone and demonic immortals from Central Continent were also trying their luck. Fang Yuan, I want you to die a terrible death. Fairy Ziwei gritted her teeth in anger. Duke Long sighed deeply. People's hearts are not longer as they used to be. Even so, Duke Long did not give up his plan. He continued to push for the Refinement Path Convention's progress. Those competition locations were heavily guarded by many Gu immortals. It was because Heavenly Court gathered their forces around here that their resource points were relatively weaker now. People could plunder them easily. It could be said that Fang Yuan's change of plans had been tailored to Duke Long's own tactic. It was a direct counter. Duke Long's determination did not waver. Even though Central Continent was a complete mess, he still defended the Refinement Path Convention. His tactic had Fang Yuan grit his teeth. There was nothing he could do. Duke Long refused to react to any of the interferences. It forced Fang Yuan to attack. But Fang Yuan would not act rashly, because he knew that he was not Heavenly Court's match, and right now, other forces had not entered the battle yet. If he acted too quickly, he would just end up as their stepping stone. Comment. Thus, Fang Yuan continued to wait silently. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1705, People's United Hearts. Chapter 1705, People's United Hearts. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Central Continent, Earth Chi Rock Forest. Poof poof poof. A huge gush of earth chi surged out from the cave below the rock forest. Rock pillars were erected one by one, some were small as bamboos while others were as large as ancient trees. Western Desert Earth Path Gu Immortal Gan Dang assessed the earth chi rock forest from afar, having a complex expression. This earth chi rock forest produced a vast amount of earth path cultivation resources, one of which was round Kun stone. It was something that Gan Dang desperately needed. It was a pity that this round Kun stone had never been sold in large numbers before in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Because this was the territory of one of Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects, they needed this round Kun stone themselves. In Treasure Yellow Heaven, I had to raise the prices, but the Gu Immortals still refused to sell it. They even made fun of me. Hee, now I can destroy this place and take all of the round Kun stone away. I will be taking revenge. Gan Dang breathed in deeply, his aura surged as he charged towards the clouds. Immortal Killer Move, Heavenly Descending Triple Mountains. Boom. 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 3 mountains crashed down from the sky, landing on the formation protecting the rock forest. A large amount of trees were directly crushed by these huge mountains. Gan Dang did not feel pity at all. He took several deep breaths as he ran around the area with a pale face. He kept all of the immortal materials in this forest, including round Kun stones, in his immortal aperture. Central Continent, Spirit Bank Spring. Which rat dares to come after this place? I have already discovered you. Why don't you show yourself? The one guarding this place was an expert rank 7 Gu Immortal from Ancient Soul Sect, Yang Feng. He had broad shoulders and a thin waist, his spine was straight as a spear, his body was emanating a strong manly aura. He had long green hair that stood right up, looking like it was piercing the heavens. His black pupils carried sharp piercing light in them, people could not look at him in the eye. He wore a martial uniform and there was a brown belt around his waist. His wrists were also protected by 2 jade braces. Spirit Bank Spring was not an ordinary resource, it was quite unique. Ancient Soul Sect sent Yang Feng here because they did not want to lose it. Yang Feng shouted. A Gu Immortal slowly walked out. He was an old man with a hunched back, he slowly walked while holding a cane. Yang Feng snorted. Old man, you are already so old, you should treasure your remaining days. Why are you courting death now? The old Gu Immortal chuckled. I can't help it, I need some Spirit Bank spring water. Yang Feng snorted coldly. There is not even enough spring water for our Ancient Soul Sect's own Supreme Elders, how can we give you any? The old Gu Immortal sighed deeply. In that case, I can only snatch some for myself. Yang Feng raised his head and laughed loudly. Old man, you are quite daring, you have the guts to fight me. Tell me, what is your name? The old Gu Immortal smiled as he said with deep meaning, I have long forgotten about my name. But others like to call me Forgotten Daoist. You are Forgotten Daoist? Yang Feng's body shook, deep shock was expressed in his eyes. Next, his expression became dazed as he asked, wait, what was your name? The old man was silent and did not move, he only smiled at Yang Feng. Yang Feng was dazed as he frowned while looking at the old Gu Immortal. Who are you? Why are you here? A moment later, after Forgotten Daoist took away the Spirit Bank spring water, Yang Feng watched as he left, before reacting. Who are you? You are acting so suspicious, stand right there. After Forgotten Daoist vanished, Yang Feng looked at the dried spirit spring as he said with deep anger, shock, and suspicion, damn it, who stole the Spirit Bank spring water? I guarded it so deeply, how did anyone even steal it? Oh no, I need to report to the sect. But at the next moment, Yang Feng was dazed again. What am I doing here? Oh right, I took a mission to defend this Spirit Bank spring, I cannot let outsiders in. With me around, I want to see who dares to come here and court death. Central continent, within a mountain range. A huge battle ended, Central Continent's Gu immortals from the 10 great sects left with deep hatred. You better remember this. Scram, loser. Xiao Huqi laughed coldly, turning to look at the person beside him with a cold gaze. Beside him was a Northern Plains Gu immortal. He was so thin his bones could be seen, his skin was wrinkled and dry, sticking close to his bones. Veins could be seen on his skin, they were everywhere. He was Northern Plains Demonic Path Rank 7 Gu immortal, Pai Shui Han. Not long ago, Xiao Huqi and him both went after this resource. They collaborated and forced the Central Continent Gu immortal who was guarding this place away. Only the two of them were left. The atmosphere became very peculiar. Friend, how should we split the resources? Xiao Huqi pretended to be polite. Pai Shui Han snorted coldly. He said without hesitation, you can also scram now. Xiao Huqi was dazed before laughing from anger. I am a rank 7 expert of Western Desert's Xiao clan. Who are you? You are truly short-sighted but your nature is very arrogant. You talk a lot of crap. Pai Shui Han had a look of disdain. He directly attacked Xiao Huqi. Xiao Huqi's expression sank but he also attacked Pai Shui Han without any fear. The two fought for over 10 rounds. Xiao Huqi was slowly losing the edge, but at this moment, Xiao Shi Rang appeared from the horizon. Xiao Huqi was overjoyed. He joined up with Xiao Shi Rang and fought Pai Shui Han together. But after a moment, Xiao Shi Rang and Xiao Huqi were forced to retreat. They left with deep anger. Who is this person? For just this little amount of cultivation resources, he is fighting as if his life depends on it. Xiao Huqi gritted his teeth. He was also a courageous person, a general of Western Desert Super Force Xiao clan, but in battle, he saw how crazy Pai Shui Han acted. He was completely suppressed. If I am not wrong, he is Northern Plains Demonic Path Gu immortal Pai Shui Han. Xiao Shi Rang said plainly. Xiao Huqi was dazed, so it was a Northern Plains brute. No wonder, forget it. Central Continent has so many resources, we do not need to compete with such maniacs. Time passed, earth vein tremors occurred, the 5 regions' regional walls continued to dissolve. The fusion of earth veins caused much less commotion in Central Continent than the Gu immortals that were going around plundering resources. The huge Central Continent was originally filled with beautiful mountains and rivers, but now, it was filled with fire and smoke. People like forgotten Daoist who only took resources were still fine. But when most Gu immortals acted, they would be like Shirgan Dang, directly destroying the resource points. They were very vicious. Several days later. Heavenly Court. Okay, we have accumulated enough human will now. In the hall, old man Fang Yuan spoke. Fairy Ziwei heard this and let out a sigh of relief. She became quite energetic again. These days, bad news had been reaching her one by one. Central Continent suffered huge losses everywhere. Fairy Ziwei felt immense pressure weighing on her. Oh. Then use it now, Fang Yuan. Duke Long said with a plain expression. Old man Fang Yuan nodded. He stood up shakily as a grand and vast aura surged out of his body. Immortal killer move, people's united hearts. The accumulated human will was expended rapidly. Almost none was left. At the same time, the entire Central Continent's Gu immortals, Gu masters, and even mortals became enveloped in a halo of light. The halo flashed for a moment, it was like an illusion. But Central Continent's people soon found something special. What is the meaning of this? Such a mystical feeling. I seem to be connected with the people around me, I can sense what they are feeling directly. After the initial shock, people soon found out the profundity of people's united hearts. It could connect everyone's hearts together and allow them to feel each other's emotions. The fear of being attacked, the sadness and hatred of having friends and family die, the worry towards one's own life, and the aspirations towards one's future. Never had Central Continent's people been so tightly connected before in history. Who are you? Why do you hold such animosity towards us? At a competition location, a Northern Plains Gu immortal was suddenly exposed. He was like a torch in the darkness, his true feelings could not be concealed, everyone found out about him. He had a handsome face and wore a white robe, he was thin and had a scholarly aura. It was Northern Plains rank 7 demonic path Gu immortal, unfettered scholar. Such an amazing human path killer move. Even though I concealed myself, I was exposed. Unfettered scholar suppressed his shock as he smiled viciously towards the people around him. There were multiple rank 7 experts guarding this place, they surrounded unfettered scholar tightly. You disguised yourself to attend the Refinement Convention, you must be after the success Dao mark. Leave, if you leave now, we will not find trouble with you. The Gu immortal leader said. Unfettered scholar laughed, saying to the leader, so you really were here, I did not come in vain. He said so with deep killing intent. The Gu immortal leader was confused, who are you? Do we have any grudges? Humph, so you forgot already. I have not forgotten it. Back then, you exterminated my clan, today, as the last person remaining, I will take your life. Unfettered scholar burst out with his killer move, it was his signature method, 1,000 disintegrations. An hour later, unfettered scholar left with an injured body, he flew into the sky while laughing and shedding tears of joy. Nobody in the competition ground was left alive. At another competition ground. Friend, please show yourself. The defending Gu immortal spoke politely and warmly. Found me huh? Southern border secluded immortal Xianxia shook his head as he walked out of the square. I have no ill intentions, I just want to experience the Central Continent Refinement Path Convention. After all, this is likely the final one. Xianxia smiled bitterly. He was a secluded cultivator in southern border, he had obtained a Genesis Lotus true inheritance by chance, he did not hold much animosity towards Central Continent. The defending Gu immortal nodded, through people's united hearts, we can sense your intentions. It is a pity that you cannot continue with this competition anymore. I understand. If you don't mind, you can stay here and we can interact with each other. It's fine. Xianxia shook his head, leaving quietly. Some people wreaked havoc, some left peacefully, but no matter what, people's united hearts was very profound, it allowed them to discern who were the enemies. The unstable elements hidden in the competition were eliminated, Central Continent no longer had any internal threats. Duke Long affirmed his tactic, as he continued to press forward with it, the finals of this Refinement Path Convention started at long last. This is the final chance, why is nobody acting? What are they waiting for? Fang Yuan gritted his teeth, he could not help but watch as Heavenly Court got closer to success. But Longevity Heaven did not respond. It is time, let's move out. At a certain corner of Central Continent, Wu Yong suddenly appeared. Behind him were many Southern Alliance Gu immortals. Wu Yong looked around as he said, everyone, I do not need to explain the situation. We cannot let Fate Gu be fully restored, otherwise, Heavenly Court's advantage would be too huge. Follow me, let us destroy infallible blessed land, let's take all the success Dao marks and make Heavenly Court taste failure. We will follow Lord Alliance leader. The Southern Alliance immortals said together, they had high morale. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1706, Southern Immortals Aspirations. Chapter 1706, Southern Immortals Aspirations. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Oh no, Wu Yong is leading a band of southern border Gu immortals, they suddenly appeared near infallible blessed land. In Heavenly Court, Fairy Z Wei's expression suddenly turned to shock. Oh. They finally showed up. Duke Long said plainly, he still sat in his seat without any change of expression. Fairy Z Wei breathed in deeply, she frowned deeply, feeling a different kind of pressure. Because Southern Border's Gu immortals were very united in this expedition, they were different from those Gu immortals from the other 4 regions that caused chaos. And most importantly, they targeted an important place, it was infallible blessed land. If infallible blessed land fell, it would be a disaster to Heavenly Court. The huge price they paid to forcibly hold the Refinement Path Convention would be wasted as Southern Borders immortals intercept and steal their gains. Don't be flustered. We already expected infallible blessed land's location to be leaked. For this reason, we have already set up a super immortal formation nearby. Right now, the initiative is in our hands, everything will progress smoothly. Duke Long instructed. Fairy Ziwei nodded respectfully. She used her method as the scene of infallible blessed land showed up in the hall. Next, she hesitated before transmitting to Wu Yong. Wu Yong, don't forget that we had cooperated last time. If you want to continue being the Southern Border Alliance leader, you should know what to do. Wu Yong received news and snickered. He felt a sense of disdain in his heart. The great Ziwei, even as a wisdom path great expert, is nothing much in the end. He did not even bother to reply to Fairy Ziwei. His entire concentration was placed on his killer move. Immortal killer move, Unlimited Wind. A dark green wind started to blow, sweeping everywhere. Soon, the wind grew to become a huge tornado pillar. It charged forward with a thunderous roar. Along the way, trees were uprooted, rocks were sent flying. It was truly unstoppable with unparalleled might. Seeing that the wind was approaching with great power, the Heavenly Court Gu immortals defending the area sighed as they activated the super immortal formation. Creak creak. The halo created by the immortal formation was constantly eroded by the unlimited wind. It soon made creaking sounds. It was sharp and piercing. The Central Continent Gu immortals used the methods inside the immortal formation, but any move that tried to weaken unlimited wind showed little effect. It is useless. I have never used this move easily before because it would expend 10,000 of my wind path Dao marks. But after paying this price, this wind is long-lasting and can only be resisted by specific techniques. Wu Yong spoke. His expression was plain but his eyes flickered with a sharp and cold light. Such determination, such will. Seeing this, Fairy Ziwei who was inside Heavenly Court sighed from the bottom of her heart. Wu Yong paid such a huge price to use unlimited wind. It showed his unwavering determination. Nothing could change his mind. Wu Yong had an ordinary appearance of a middle-aged man. He had a strong body and sharp eyebrows, giving him a dark and hazy aura. Right now, he was standing in front of the immortals. He stood tall and proud, being a leader that had great disposition. Fairy Ziwei memorized his appearance in her heart. She realized that she had underestimated him. Southern Borders Wu Yong. A truly formidable person. He had Wu Clan's bravery and courage, but he was also able to control his own emotions and conceal them deeply. When Wu Duxiu was around, he kept a low profile and reputation. Even Wu Duxiu underestimated him. Only on her deathbed did she realize that her son had such methods. When he first took her position, Southern Border was in chaos. Other clans pressured Wu Clan and they lost a lot of territory. Using his strength and clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building, Wu Yong turned the situation around. After the Battle of the Dream Realm, Wu Yong took a risk and worked with Heavenly Court. He took back the immortal Gu of the Southern Border immortals. He returned all these immortal Gu and that action gave him great reputation. In the 5 regional mountain range, he wanted to kill Fang Yuan but failed time and again. After that, even though Lu Wei-yin had the title of Paradise Earth's inheritor, he could not take down Wu Yong. He still remained as the alliance leader of the Southern Alliance. Right now, Heavenly Court was at a crucial moment in restoring Fate Gu. Wu Yong led all the Southern Alliance elites in this battle. He disregarded Fairy Ziwei's threat. Because he knew what the big picture was. They could not allow Heavenly Court to obtain the complete Fate Immortal Gu once more. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Unlimited wind continued to attack, eroding the formation. The defending Heavenly Court Gu immortals tried all ways to stop it but they failed. This move was too powerful. It was Wu Yong's trump card. This was the first time he had used it. Not just Heavenly Court, even when Southern Borders Gu immortals saw it, they were shocked and under their joyful expressions were wariness and fear. Soon, a hole opened in the formation as Wu Yong waved, "Everyone, now is the time to risk your lives, charge in with me and kill." Southern Borders immortals entered as the defending Heavenly Court Gu immortals became nervous. they're in, quick, activate the second layer formation. Southern Border's immortals felt that the scenery changed, jade blue light appeared and turned into countless flying pink flowers, they flew rapidly and rotated all over the place, enveloping the Southern Border immortals. A rank 7 Gu immortal stood up, he had a halberd-like beard, he was heroic and brave, his name was Daoist Gu, a pillar of support for Tai clan. He had peak rank 7 battle strength, against such a strong force, he felt no fear, he shouted loudly as golden light flickered on his body, a dense number of golden halberds formed. Go! Countless halberds rained down furiously and crashed into the torrent of flying flowers. As they collided, the flying flowers and golden halberd both disintegrated into powder and fragments. The formation's attack was rank 8 level, but Daoist Gu actually held up against it, he did not fall into a disadvantage. Formation Path Great Expert rank 8 Gu Immortal Chi Chu Yu was standing beside him, trying to deduce the weakness of this formation. In this attack, Chi Chu Yu was bound to be the most useful person. A few breaths of time later, the golden halberds were slowly suppressed by the endless flowers, rank 7 Gu Immortal Xianxia stood out. He stretched out his palm as a bloody hole opened up, the strong suction force absorbed many flowers. Hei Ting growled, blue lightning sparks appeared on his body as he helped Daoist Gu with the situation. Meanwhile, rank 7 Wisdom Path Gu Immortal Xia Lu Pei stood behind Chi Chu Yu, placing his palm on Chi Chu Yu's back, using Wisdom Path methods to help accelerate his deduction speed. After a while, Chi Chu Yu acted. Professionals were specialized in different fields, using his methods, the formation became slow, the weaknesses that were exposed were evident even to Gu immortals not in formation path. Boom boom boom. Southern Border's Gu immortals did not intend to hold back, they immediately attacked with many powerful killer moves, destroying the second formation. Southern Border's immortals progressed into the third formation. Heavenly Court's Gu immortals were deeply shocked. With friend Chi here, what formation can stop us? Wu Yong laughed loudly. The remaining immortals had high morales. Chi Chu Yu smiled bitterly, my deduction method cannot be used easily, it expends my lifespan. But in this battle, I cannot hold back. Southern Border's immortals shook. Wu Yong could not help but look at Chi Chu Yu, both could see each other's determination. But soon, Chi Chu Yu started frowning, I do not need to deduce this third formation, it is very simple and easy, the formation core is that largest tree at the center of the forest. The formation was easily understood, Heavenly Court purposely did this, it was very difficult to destroy. Because this forest was very special, it could eliminate the power of any killer move. Each tree was made of holy burial wood, the most central formation core was immemorial desolate plant level. If Southern Border's immortals wanted to destroy these trees, they would need to use their physical bodies. However, there were countless vines on these trees, they were not simple. Some were green dragon vines, some were lightning vines, and some were chainsaw heart vines. The third formation was made using the Tao marks of this forest. To destroy this formation, attacking other areas was useless, they had to destroy this holy burial forest. Southern Border's immortals thought about it, they released the ancient desolate beasts and immemorial desolate beasts in their immortal apertures. The beast groups charged into the forest and attacked the vines, blood splattered all over. A while later, half of the beasts were sacrificed, the remaining were dazed in the forest, while the last portion fought among themselves. Southern Border's immortals had grim expressions. So this place also has 7-star internal conflict grass, it makes these ancient desolate beasts fight each other. Even though immemorial desolate beasts are unaffected, they are obstructed by this beast digesting rotten chi. This beast digesting rotten chi had dense poison path Tao marks, it did not affect desolate plants, variant humans, or pure humans. It only affected wild beasts, it could make immemorial desolate beasts turn thin, their skin and internal organs would dissolve. Southern Border's immortals failed in their attempts, Wu Yong was about to take out his clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building when someone stood up. Let me try. The immortals looked over, this Gu immortal had a bald head, he had muscular shoulders and body, it was Ba Clan's rank 7 Gu immortal Ba Xiong. Even though I am not a strength path Gu immortal, I cultivate transformation path, let me charge in and destroy the holy burial wood. However, I only have peak rank 7 battle strength, I would like Lord Yi Hao Fang to support me. Ba Xiong said expressionlessly. The immortals were slightly moved. Ba Xiong only had peak rank 7 battle strength, he was not a rank 8 Gu immortal, yet he was willing to take a risk that would kill him with any slight carelessness. Yi Hao Fang looked towards Ba clan's first supreme elder Ba Ba, seeing that the latter nodded, he used his method on Ba Xiong. His reinforcement method was not just famous in southern border, it was renowned in the world. Ba Xiong immediately felt an unparalleled strength flowing in his body. He flew out and used his killer move, turning into a giant as he charged rapidly towards the center. The Heavenly Court Gu immortals were naturally not going to ignore him, they started to attack him. Southern Border's Gu immortals quickly helped to assist Ba Xiong's advancement. Eventually, Ba Xiong was bathed in blood, his skin was torn and countless wounds could be seen as his bones became exposed. He had exerted himself in destroying the central holy burial wood at long last. In just a few minutes, Southern Border's Gu immortals had broken 3 formations. Next, it will depend on the rest of you. Ba Xiong was heavily injured, he had lost his strength to continue in this fight. Friend, you were courageous and fought a dangerous battle, no matter how this battle ends up, you will gain huge merits in our Southern Alliance, we will definitely reward you handsomely when we return. Wu Yong said with certainty. Ba Xiong smiled lightly, I risked my life because I was moved by Lords Wu Yong and Qi Chuyu. Heavenly Court had already gone overboard many times when they invaded our southern border, if they truly repaired Fate Gu, what would we do? That is exactly right. Wu Yong nodded. He looked at the immortals around him, his confidence surged to 10 times that of earlier. Central Continent had people's united hearts, while Southern Border's immortals were unified in their objective. With such a grand force, what fortress could they not take down? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1707, Heavenly Court's Crisis. Chapter 1707, Heavenly Court's Crisis. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Central Continent, Hidden Dragon Cave, Grand Formation. Myriad dragons flew around, encircling Eastern Sea's rank 8 Gu immortal Song Qi Yuan like a huge ball made of dragons. These ancient poison dragons are clearly made from the formation's power, yet they are so agile and act as if they are real. Song Qi Yuan defended himself as he pondered. He wanted to kill these ancient poison dragons, there was no issue with that, but even if he got rid of them, there were other obstacles awaiting him. The tens of thousands of ancient poison dragons were formed using the formation's power. Song Qi Yuan had to destroy this formation to target their root source. Otherwise, even if he killed the ancient poison dragons, he would not be able to break out of the formation. It is a pity my formation path attainment is too low, even until now, I have not found any flaws. Song Qi Yuan gritted his teeth. Immortal killer move, perfect round light. He used his defensive method as his body became shielded by a ball-shaped yellow barrier. Regardless of how ferocious the ancient poison dragons were, they could not break this thin light barrier. From this, one could see how deep Song Qi Yuan's light path foundation was. Unfortunately, his opponent was this super formation, he needed formation path understanding instead. There were many Gu master paths, like earlier when Fang Yuan was countered by Heavenly Court's human path and information path methods, Song Qi Yuan was also countered by formation path. Even though rank 8 Gu immortals could usually mimic other paths, and Song Qi Yuan could use light path to mimic the effects of formation path, he was facing against a super immortal formation that Heavenly Court had paid a huge price to create. It was the grand formation that could seal legendary immemorial desolate beast Dizongsheng. Song Qi Yuan, who could not find any flaws, could only defend himself while waiting for a chance to appear. Inside the formation's control area, Old Man Bei Feng manipulated the super immortal formation as he observed the situation of the Eastern Sea Gu immortals. A young-looking rank 6 Gu immortal was beside him. It was Old Man Bei Feng's grandson Feng Chanzi. Feng Chanzi looked at the images as he cheered, "Grandfather, this is great. These rank 8 Gu immortals are all trapped and unable to escape. We have made a huge contribution, we can definitely atone for our mistake and leave this cursed place. Grandfather, you can also become a true member of Heavenly Court. Old man Bei Feng shook his head, he had a solemn gaze. Grandson, you are not clear of the true situation. These rank 8 Gu immortals have not exhausted their means, most of them are unharmed. They are unable to break the essence of this formation, so they chose to observe for now, waiting for reinforcements. Once they find any flaw, they would attack with unparalleled and shocking might. Feng Chanzi was stunned and frightened. Then what do we do? Grandfather, didn't we seek reinforcements long ago? Why have Heavenly Court's reinforcements not arrived yet? Old man Bei Feng was silent for a moment before he said, how can we know what Heavenly Court is planning? We can only guard this place to the best of our abilities now. After old man Bei Feng said that, the formation started to shake. What is going on? A rank 8 Gu immortal found out a flaw of the formation. Feng Chanzi was shocked. No, it is that evil dragon. Old man Bei Feng's expression turned pale all of a sudden. Hidden Dragon Cave, it was renowned for sealing evil dragon Di Zongsheng. Right now, Di Zongsheng was struggling, it wanted to get up, old man Bei Feng could not help but resist bitterly. Di Zongsheng was not ordinary, it was created from endless hatred, anger, and grudges, all these negative emotions in Central Continent's earth veins. It was originally sealed and constantly struggled, if it succeeded, there would be a huge earthquake. Old man Bei Feng was guarding it, one of the reasons was to stop the evil dragon from causing huge earthquakes in Central Continent. But now, Fang Yuan and the other region's Gu immortals rampaged in Central Continent, attacking countless lifeforms, a vast amount of grudges, hatred, and fear were generated. Di Zongsheng absorbed these emotions and gained a huge boost in strength. When the Eastern Sea Gu immortals attacked the formation, it was already alerted. The crafty Di Zongsheng held its patience and gathered strength, by causing a scene now, old man Bei Feng was caught off guard. Old man Bei Feng quickly reacted and tried to use the formation's power to suppress Di Zongsheng. After that old man Duke Long used this formation, it weakened by 30%. Right now, my strength has secretly risen by at least 50%, old man Bei Feng, if you escape now, you might survive. Otherwise, when I destroy this formation, I will tear your corpse to pieces. Di Zongsheng roared, its voice was thunderous and caused tremors in this huge earth trench. Don't even think about it. Old man Bei Feng had a grim expression, but his determination did not waver. I found a flaw. In a formation space, Eastern Sea rank 8 Gu immortal Qin Yuan stared with opened eyes as his aura burst out like a volcano. Immortal killer move, mountain suppression. Bam! A huge phantom mountain appeared out of nowhere, it struck towards the formation's loophole while creating loud sounds resembling wind and thunder. Hidden Dragon Cave's super immortal formation had already reached its limits facing Eastern Sea's Gu immortals and Di Zongsheng. Now that Qin Yuan attacked it, it was like a broken bowstring. Puff! The formation collapsed, old man Bei Feng suffered a backlash and spat out mouthfuls of blood, his face turned pale as paper and he was on the brink of death. Crack! Sounds of glass cracking could be heard, a huge portion of the immortal formation was destroyed, only the control area was left, it was still pitifully defending the final bit of territory. Eastern Sea's immortals felt their vision shifting as they were all released. I can sense it, the rank 8 immortal Gu house is outside the immortal formation's core. Shen Zongsheng's eyes shined with bright light. Charge! Song Qi Yuan laughed loudly as he moved. Qin Yuan stayed behind to heal himself, he had suffered injuries in trying to destroy the formation. He was not a formation path Gu immortal, he could not resolve it through formation path means, he had used brute force instead. Di Zongsheng roared in excitement, its voice was loud as thunder, it made all the Eastern Sea immortals' expressions change. Quick, destroy the control area. I am about to regain freedom, ha ha ha. Old man Duke Long, after I get out, I will tear apart your tendons and eat you piece by piece. Di Zongsheng's voice was filled with hatred and rage, it sent a chill down all of the immortal spines. Grandfather, you must hang on. In the tattered formation control area, Feng Chanzi cried as he held on to old man Bei Feng. He shuddered as he screamed, why have Heavenly Court's reinforcements not arrived yet? Old man Bei Feng was still spitting out blood, there was a pool of blood beneath him now. Both of them fell into a desperate situation. Central Continent, Emperor City. This huge city was made of goo worms, it was known as the #1 mortal goo house in the world. At the same time, it was also the largest mortal gathering spot in the whole of Central Continent. The finals of Central Continent Refinement Path Convention would be held here. Fang Yuan was high in the sky, covered by layers of auspicious clouds, this was a luck path method meant to conceal his traces. Other than that, there were more than 10 immortal methods used by Fang Yuan on himself, he could barely defend against the investigative power of people's accusation. He did not have human path methods after all, this effect was already satisfactory. Right now, his gaze was focused on Emperor City. Nobody else has acted yet. Longevity Heaven has yet to respond, damn it. Fang Yuan frowned deeply. He did not know that Southern Borders immortals were already attacking infallible blessed land with great morale. Meanwhile, in Hidden Dragon Cave, Eastern Seas immortals had also broken the formation, only the core was left. I cannot let Heavenly Court repair Fate Gu fully. I will destroy this Emperor City and kill all of the Gu masters that are in this final competition. Fang Yuan ordered, an immortal Gu house crashed down like a meteor. The immortal Gu house contained He Lu Lan, Bai Ning Bing, Ing Wu Xia, and Qi Clan's Gu immortals. It could be said to contain almost all of Fang Yuan's subordinates now. Who dares to attack us, I will kill all of you. Li Huang's voice resounded, he was the rank 8 expert tasked to guard this place. As he said that, immortal Gu houses started to appear, revolving around Emperor City like planets moving around the sun. Fang Yuan sighed to himself, my immortal Gu house was made using by Xiang Grotto Heaven's 33 heavenly halls, along with the place where the killer move heaven form was stored, I also added in some Gu worms to barely assemble it, it is likely not the match of these immortal Gu houses. Even so, Fang Yuan did not ask them to retreat. He had expected this situation, but there was no choice, time was tight, he had to do something. Fang Yuan made up his mind, when Bai Ning Bing and the rest are unable to continue, he would show up personally. As expected, Bai Ning Bing and the rest were attacked by many immortal Gu houses, they were suppressed from the start of the battle. Heavenly Court placed a huge line of defense here, it was simply ridiculous. A moment later, the immortal Gu house that Bai Ning Bing and the rest were in became extremely damaged, they were soon to be defeated. Fang Yuan sighed, he was about to enter the battle when his expression froze, he looked towards another direction. Several rank 8 Gu immortals appeared, they were followed by several immortal Gu houses. These are Western Desert's rank 8 Gu immortals, and the immortal Gu houses of super forces. Fang Yuan's heart jumped, he showed joy on his face. Heavenly Court. Western Desert and Southern Borders main forces have arrived. Fairy Ziwei sighed, actually, if not for the fusion of earth veins, the regional walls would still be thick, our Heavenly Court will definitely not face a coordinated attack of this degree. She was right. Precisely because the Great Era was impending, the 5 regions were becoming one as the regional walls vanished, these 4 other regions felt a strong sense of threat. Central Continent had the greatest strength, this was publicly recognized since ancient times. Right now, Heavenly Court wanted to repair Fate Immortal Gu, this was adding fuel to the fire, the other 4 regions Gu immortals had to stop them. The strongest group has not arrived yet. Duke Long said plainly. Yes. Fairy Ziwei frowned, only several people from Northern Plains have arrived, their main force has not shown up at all. Fang Yuan is also not present, considering the battle in the River of Time earlier, he might likely join forces with Bing Sichuan again. Saying so, Fairy Ziwei gritted her teeth, let me deduce with all of my strength again. Duke Long was about to nod when his expression suddenly changed, he looked afar, no need, they have arrived. At the next moment, Fairy Ziwei looked with deep anger as a rainbow fog appeared in the sky of Heavenly Court, rank 8 immortal Gu house calamity luck altar burst out of it. These Northern Plains brutes. They are too daring, how dare they attack my Heavenly Court directly. Fairy Ziwei was so angry her body was shaking. Old man Fang Yuan who was at the side became speechless. Duke Long laughed loudly, standing up. Indeed, this is the character of Northern Plainsmen. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1708, Emperor City Battlefield. Chapter 1708, Emperor City Battlefield. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Central Continent, Emperor City. This is the Immortal Gu house that Master told me about. Yi Fan had made it to the finals competition. He looked at the sky with deep shock. The other participating Gu masters were mostly the same. These Immortal Gu houses are usually the foundation of a super force. To think that so many would appear. I'm afraid that even after the regional walls vanish and the earth veins become one, during the 5 regions chaotic war, there would not be such a battle. Yi Fan had a realization. At this time, a voice sounded beside Yi Fan. Brother Yi, we can finally compete this time and determine the winner. Yi Fan diverted his gaze as he smiled and thought, Master ordered me to join this Central Continent Refinement Path Convention. To think that I would meet such a talented person. Even if I lose in the competition later, it would be a great experience. This sworn brother is my greatest gain. Friends are often made after a fight. Hong Yi and Yi Fan had emerged victorious in the previous few rounds. They naturally became acquainted. After some conversations, both developed a bond with each other. After a drinking competition, they decided to become sworn brothers. Hong Yi continued, this Refinement Path Convention is unprecedented. Let those Gu immortals fight in the sky. We have our own business to attend to. Thank you for the concern, Brother Yi, I understand. Yi Fan knew about Hong Yi's kind intentions. He expressed his gratitude before concentrating on the final competition. Outside Emperor City, Central Continent had many Immortal Gu houses of varying ranks. They were distributed around Emperor City, surrounding it and forming a 3-layer defense line. Outside the defense lines, there were many Western Desert Rank 8 experts and Immortal Gu houses. Other than that was the one controlled by Bai Ning Bing and the rest. Fang Yuan had not even named this Immortal Gu house that he assembled in a rush. Fang Yuan originally wanted to show up, but after Western Desert's Gu immortals appeared, he decided to stay hidden again. Western Desert's Gu immortals flew down along the Immortal Gu houses. They continued to shorten their distance, causing huge pressure to form on Central Continent's side. Even Li Huang, who was commanding the situation, felt a little pressured. Even he who had great battle experience had not participated in a battle of such a huge scale. Li Huang had participated in many chaotic battles involving Gu immortals, but he had never seen so many Immortal Gu houses in one fight. Immortal Gu houses were much rarer than Gu immortals. Normally speaking, very few Gu immortals had their individual Immortal Gu houses, only super forces had them. A Gu immortal alone could not gather enough wealth, ability, and time to create an Immortal Gu house. And an Immortal Gu house was not the most feasible for a single person's use. For super forces, they needed a rank 7 Immortal Gu house. In crucial situations, it could act as their rank 8 battle strength. Rank 8 Gu immortals were not common. The first supreme elder of many forces were only rank 7. At this time, a rank 7 Immortal Gu house could help to stabilize the situation. Immortal Gu houses had their flaws, of course. The methods were fixed and easily countered. Thus, even though most rank 7 Immortal Gu houses could rival rank 8, they could not truly fight against a rank 8 Gu immortal. Right now, the Immortal Gu houses here were at least rank 7, they all had rank 8 battle strength. From a certain perspective, this was a battle that involved more than 10 rank 8 battle strength existences. Both sides felt nervous and pressured. But this was an unavoidable battle. The atmosphere became heavier. When the distance between both sides shrunk to a certain degree, an Immortal Gu house that was in Central Continent's second-layer defense line attacked. This Immortal Gu house was small and delicate. It was an exquisite and small pavilion. There were countless bird cages hanging on it as birds chirped continuously. It was one of Heavenly Lotus Sect's 5 Immortal Gu houses, Canary Pavilion. A large number of cages were unlocked in Canary Pavilion. flaming birds flew out rapidly, shooting out like a rain of flames. These birds expanded midway and regained their original size. They were large as horse carriages, their bodies were red and their feathers were flaming with great heat. Their eyes resembled molten magma, their chirping was quite unique, it sounded like flowing lava. Ancient desolate beast, molten flame bird. Be careful, these birds can self-detonate, they have great power. Among the Western Desert group, a Gu immortal immediately warned. Fire path ancient desolate beast, ha ha ha, let us face them. Amidst the laughter, an immortal Gu house that resembled a water wheel rolled out itself using those gigantic wheels. A huge red light shot out of the wheel, it seemed to resemble ribbons that tangled the bird group. The molten flame birds shrieked and tried to struggle but most were suppressed by the red light. A few self-detonated, turning into lava that were absorbed by the red light to become even stronger. What immortal Gu house is this? Central Continent's side was shocked to think that the molten flame birds were so easily countered. Western Desert side was also shocked. A few rank 8 Gu immortals paid slight attention to this weirdly shaped immortal Gu house, they had no information regarding it. Oh. Dong Clan's Red River Wheel. Fang Yuan's eyes shined. This immortal Gu house was obtained by Dong Clan from a mysterious inheritance. In Fang Yuan's previous life, it had displayed its great power and gained huge fame. Normally speaking, if a super force wanted to research and create an immortal Gu house, the process would take a long time. And in this process, a lot of clues would be obtained by other forces. Only immortal Gu houses that were suddenly obtained like this would shock people. Dong Clan's Gu immortals felt a little proud, they had made a great gain, obtaining these molten flame birds. With them, Dong Clan's Red River Wheel would become even stronger, especially in terms of speed. Tit for tat. Fang Clan's Gu immortal shouted in the immortal Gu house, releasing a large number of ancient desolate beasts, most were dogs and chickens. Fang Yuan was even clearer regarding this immortal Gu house. It was Fang Clan's chicken dog coop, it looked like two buildings side by side, the left building was yellow and had a round plaque that had chicken written on it, the right building was red and had the word dog on its plaque. Every immortal Gu house was comprehensive in all aspects but also contained its own specialty. Chicken Dog Coop and Canary Pavilion were both focused on enslavement path, the former enslaved chicken and dogs, while the latter raised canaries. Both were also the same at rank 7. The advantage of enslavement path was to engage in a battle of attrition. A large group of chickens and dogs charged out as Central Continent's outer layer of defense reacted, using all sorts of killer moves on these chickens and dogs, a large number died. But Western Desert's group also followed after and attacked. At once, immortal Gu houses unleashed thunderous sounds and collided into each other, killer moves were unleashed as space was torn, loud sounds caused continuous tremors in this area. Western Desert's advancement was very ferocious, soon, Central Continent's first layer of defense was broken, the second layer was also almost broken, but it barely held on. Western Desert side has less manpower and immortal Gu houses than Central Continent after all. Western Desert was different from Southern Border, Northern Plains, and Eastern Sea. Southern Border had the Southern Alliance, the super forces were working very closely now. Right now, the whole of Southern Border had beacon towers everywhere, this was proof of their cooperation. Northern Plains had Longevity Heaven leading them. In the recent years, Longevity Heaven had been recruiting lone immortals and demonic path members, they were trying to unify the entire Gu immortal world of Northern Plains. Eastern Sea's rank 8 Gu immortals had almost lost all their face because of Duke Long's actions of taking the immortal Gu house. Because Duke Long offended all of these people which were all arrogant overlords of their own territory, this event caused them to band together instead. Over at Western Desert, even though they knew that the issue of Heavenly Court repairing Fate Gu was severe, only super forces participated in this. Fang Yuan did not see any Western Desert lone immortals or demonic path members. And Western Desert's super forces have reserved a lot of strength in this battle too. Fang Clan is the one that has brought the most force. They brought Chicken Dog Coop, Inquiry Doc, and Fallen Flower Hall. I wonder if Divine Bean Palace has been repaired. Did they bring it? Fang Yuan pondered rapidly. Divine Bean Palace was a rank 8 immortal Gu house. If they brought it, this would be interesting. But Fang Clan knew that the chances were slim. Even if Fang Clan had control of Divine Bean Palace now, there was a good chance that they would leave it in their base. In this Refinement Path Convention, even though Western Desert and Eastern Sea mobilized their forces, they were quite conservative. They were wary of each other. You go this way. Fang Yuan watched from above as he commanded Bai Ningbing and the rest. Bai Ningbing and the rest moved the immortal Gu house according to Fang Yuan's instructions and passed the second layer of defense, going straight for Emperor City under everyone's shocked gazes. But Emperor City was protected by Central Continent's third layer of defense. Two immortal Gu houses charged toward Bai Ningbing and the rest from the left and right. The palace at the left was grand and imposing. It was Heavenly Lotus Sect's immortal Gu house, Yuyang Palace. The right garden was exquisitely built. It was grand with white jade tiles and oozing with cold air. There were faint dragon roars heard occasionally. This was Ancient Soul Sect's immortal Gu house, Frost Dragon Manor. Bai Ningbing and the rest used the immortal Gu house's killer move. The move was not powerful. It was destroyed by Yuyang Palace and Frost Dragon Manor. They arrived in front of Bai Ningbing and the rest. Bai Ningbing and the rest knew that their immortal Gu house was inferior. They could only retreat. You can't retreat. A Western Desert rank 8 Gu immortal shouted. If they retreated, this gap that was painstakingly created would be mended. Their chance would be lost. Retreat. Fang Yuan's orders were very direct. This immortal Gu house was not Frost Dragon Manor and Yuyang Palace's match. Fang Yuan needed to preserve them. If it was destroyed now at the start, it would be a huge waste. However, it was not so easy to retreat. At the crucial moment, intense winds restrained Bai Ningbing and the rest. It was a 7-story tower. Curtains were fluttering in the building. It was rank 7 immortal Gu house, wind-sweeping building. This was one of the 2 signature immortal Gu houses of Wind Cloud Manor. It was paired with Cloud Passing Building. Wind-sweeping building and Cloud Passing Building were able to combine into rank 8 immortal Gu house Wind Cloud Manor. It had extraordinary power. In the 500 years of Fang Yuan's previous life, Wind Cloud Manor was once ranked as the number 1 immortal Gu house for some time. With wind-sweeping building restraining them, Yuyang Palace moved rapidly like a meteor, crashing into Fang Yuan's immortal Gu house. Next, Frost Dragon Manor's killer move also landed. Instantly, a portion of Fang Yuan's immortal Gu house broke, pillars broke and a huge gap was created. A vast number of mortal Gu was destroyed. He also lost several immortal Gu. Fang Yuan snorted as he showed up. Emperor Yama killer move. With the use of Great Thief Ghost Hand, he directly took a bunch of Gu worms and 3 immortal Gu. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1709, Wu Yong vs. Chen Yi. Chapter 1709, Wu Yong vs. Chen Yi. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Boom. With a loud sound, huge changes occurred. Wu Yong led the group of Southern Alliance immortals as he broke the 5th layer of the formation, arriving at the 6th. In the 6th formation, there was complete darkness. There were no boundaries as far as one could see. The southern border immortals were as small as ants in comparison to this huge space. This is a space path formation. A Luo clan Gu immortal suddenly spoke. He wore a traditional southern border clothing. His skin tone was white and he had a cold expression. He was a Luo clan general famous in southern border, having peak rank 7 battle strength. His name was Luo Ran. He cultivated space path and had incredible attainment. Indeed, this is a space path formation. Chi Chu Yu nodded in agreement. Let me make some deductions. The immortals held no disagreements. After entering a formation, using brute force was not wise. The best way was to let formation path Gu immortals deduce the profundities of this formation, to target its weaknesses and achieve a greater result in doing so, saving effort in the process. After some deductions, Chi Chuyu said plainly, I've already deduced most of this formation, it is likely the spaceless formation. Luo Ran listened and frowned, even though I do not cultivate formation path, I've heard of spaceless formation, it is one of the most classic immortal formations of space path, it was created during the remote antiquity era. Nobody knows who the creator was, this formation only has one ability, it can extend space and increase distance. After entering the formation, the distance of one step can be turned into 100 steps. Chi Chuyu laughed, friend Luo Ran is wise, that is correct. But this formation had already been modified, there is a variation hidden inside it. Someone asked, what variation? Chi Chuyu shook his head, I have not deduced it yet, I can only sense it. But we can set off first, I can deduce along the way. In this situation, we can move ahead without concern, the spaceless formation does not have offensive power, it can only trap enemies and increase the distance between enemy and ally, to stall for time. Give me some time, I will be able to deduce the variation formation and find its weakness. During this period, if Heavenly Court attacks, as long as we can defend ourselves, whatever changes we observe will help me in my deductions. Chi Chuyu's suggestion was good, the immortals quickly set off and chose to move forward together. Spaceless formation had no light, it was completely dark and endless. The Southern Alliance immortals protected Chi Chuyu who was at the center of the group, while Wu Yong remained as the vanguard. Look, there's something in front. Yao Clan's Gu immortal Yao Tianze suddenly spoke. The immortals quickly slowed down and got closer, taking a clearer look. There was a huge green and white radish, it was large like a house, floating in the air as it remained motionless. What is this? It seems to be an immemorial desolate plant. Yao Tianze asked. Everyone frowned, this was not a common sight after all. Wu Yong was silent, a flash of inspiration appeared in his mind, he seemed to have heard of that immortal plant but he could not recall it in a short time. If I am not wrong, this should be the great profound ice light radish, it is an extinct immortal plant from the immemorial antiquity era. To think that Heavenly Court still kept it till now. Xiao Zhikai said. He was the first supreme elder of Qiao clan, even though he had rank 7 cultivation level, he cultivated wood path. Wu Yong's eyes shined, that's right, this is the great profound ice light radish. Everyone be careful, if anyone gets close, this radish will burst out with countless ice lights, it will pierce every muscle and skin in your body, you will instantly freeze to death. Xiao Zhikai added to the explanation, that's right, do not underestimate the ice lights, these ice lights are the Tao marks of the great profound ice light radish. After it shoots out, the great profound ice light radish will no longer have any Tao marks, it will become a mortal material. Thus, the ice light storm will have the power of a rank 8 Gu immortals immortal killer move. The immortals heard this and stepped back, they became very alert. However, a change occurred right at this moment. Ripples appeared in the air, the formation suddenly activated as a huge space path force erupted on a southern border Gu immortal. The southern border Gu immortal had already activated his defenses long ago, but the space path force did not attack him, instead, it teleported him away. The location was none other than beside the great profound ice light radish. The great profound ice light radish was like a frightened little girl, it quickly shrunk until it was 1/3 of its original size. Afterwards, boom! Countless ice needles shot out in all directions. The southern border Gu immortal had already activated his strongest defensive method, but in just half a breath of time, he was pierced thoroughly. Next, he became frozen, becoming an ice statue. The southern border immortals were all deeply shocked. The spaceless formation suddenly activated and teleported the Gu immortal away, it was clearly the variation that Chi Chuyu had spoke of earlier. Together with the great profound ice light radish, it was a perfect combination. Wu Yong's expression turned ashen. He led the Southern Alliance immortals in this battle, at this moment, they had finally lost their first member. Wu Yong was quite anxious to find a way to deal with the situation. At this moment, a change occurred again. Ripples appeared in space again as a formless space path force erupted, trying to teleport another Southern Alliance Gu immortal. With me around, don't even think about it. At the crucial moment, Luo Ran shouted, activating an immortal Gu. The power of the immortal Gu spread out as the surrounding space instantly froze like ice. Southern Alliance's immortals felt a strong restrictive force, as if they were sealed in an ice coffin. Rank 7 Immortal Gu, suppress space. A Rank 7 Immortal Gu could not deal with this Heavenly Court formation, but it was not without effect. Suppress space Immortal Gu helped the Southern Alliance Gu immortal to gain a few crucial seconds to escape. The formation's spatial ripples were like a beast's mouth that failed to devour its target, it could only vanish in vain. Luo Ran dispelled the effect of suppress space Immortal Gu. Southern Alliance's Gu immortals felt the pressure lifting as they regained their freedom. The situation was urgent, I had to activate suppress space Immortal Gu, it had a wide range that cannot be controlled, my apologies for implicating everyone. Luo Ran quickly apologized. Wu Yong laughed loudly, well done. This is suppress space Immortal Gu. It is a good Gu worm that counters this formation. Chi Chuyu nodded, feeling glad. Luo Ran smiled, I obtained this Gu from an earth trench recently, to think that it would work here, this shows that somehow, heavens will truly exist. Everything in this world had its weaknesses and counters, there was no strongest Gu worm, only strongest Gu immortal. Heavenly Court created this spaceless teleportation formation, it was made of several rank 7 immortal Gu and a vast number of mortal Gu, but it was countered by one suppressed space immortal Gu. With suppressed space immortal Gu, Southern Alliance's immortals no longer had any concerns when moving in this formation space. And because Heavenly Court's teleportation formation was activated, Chi Chuyu's deductions became faster. A moment later, Chi Chuyu pointed out a loophole of the formation. He said to Wu Yong, Heavenly Court's spaceless formation is too troublesome to break from the inside. Lord Alliance Leader, why don't you use this loophole to link with the unlimited wind outside and break the formation there, it should be easier. Wu Yong used the loophole and easily detected the unlimited wind outside. Immediately, wild winds blew and broke the formation through the loophole. The Southern Alliance Gu immortals returned to the outside world. After breaking 6 formations and only losing 1 member, the Southern Alliance immortals had surging morale. This battle result made the formation's controller feel extremely heavy-hearted. This person was dressed in a green robe, emitting an aura of a scholar. From his appearance, he looked young, but his eyes were deep and wise, he was already some thousands of years old. It was none other than the Woodpath Rank 8 Great Expert, Heavenly Lotus Sect's previous First Supreme Elder, the current generation Genesis Lotus Inheritor, Chen Yi. To think that the enemies are so ferocious. There are only 3 formations left. Chen Yi pondered for a while and said to the person beside him, why don't we work together and fight them, we can gain some time for the formation to be set up. The female immortal beside him, Baitsang Shui, was a Heavenly Court member, she had participated in the previous Refinement Path Convention to restore fate. She did not hesitate, agreeing immediately. The two walked out of the formation, Wu Yong and the rest were still attacking the 7th layer of the formation, they tried to break it directly. Chen Yi cupped his fists at the Southern Border Immortals, Southern Border friends, I am Heavenly Court's Chen Yi, does anyone dare to fight me alone? Wu Yong's pupils shrunk, he waved his hand as clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building was taken out. In a fight between rank 8s, rank 7 Gu immortals could not interfere, but if they went inside an immortal Gu house, they would be able to join the battle, barely. Ba Clan's first Supreme Elder Ba Shir Ba laughed loudly, Old Man Chen Yi, it was not wise for you to come out of that tortoise shell. Let me face you. Wait, don't let him stall for time, we will attack together. Wu Yong snickered and ordered. If Wu Du Xiu was here, she would definitely accept Chen Yi's challenge and fight him alone. But Wu Yong was a different type of person, why would he give up on a chance to attack him as a group? Immediately, Wu Yong moved forward with multiple rank 8s from Southern Border behind him, along with clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building carrying rank 7 Gu immortals, they charged ahead. Chen Yi and Baizang Shui were attacked by the group but they did not fluster. Baizang Shui pushed with her hands as huge white waves appeared and moved forward. Wu Yong's body flickered as his afterimage remained, his true body had vanished on the spot. Ba Shi faced the huge waves as he shouted, his aura surged as a profound light shined on the waves. Next, the wings on Yi Haofang's back waved, countless arrows shot out, the arrow rain pierced the waves, approaching Baizang Shui and Chen Yi. Come, Chen Yi smiled, he did not make any movements but the phantom images of huge trees appeared around him. Yi Haofang's arrow rain pierced into the forest, it only caused some shaking in the trees, a large number of leaves fell. Chen Yi's aura grew stronger, he was about to retaliate when his expression suddenly changed. Wu Yong appeared right behind him unknowingly. He has such concealment methods. The concealed person that I detected was actually an illusion that he made. Chen Yi was deeply shocked by Wu Yong's methods. At the moment of crisis, he did not even have time to turn around. Next, he felt that Wu Yong had lightly patted his shoulder. We became friends at first sight, yet you have to go now. This is farewell my good friend, let me send you off. Wu Yong smiled lightly. Hearing this, even with Chen Yi's thousands of years of life and abundant experiences, his expression became pale. He shouted in his heart, this is immortal killer move, farewell friend Wind. My heavenly court had not been able to find it even after extensive search, to think that it was in Wu Yong's hands. Next, Chen Yi lost control over his body, he slowly floated towards the front. While floating, his hair, clothes, and limbs started to disintegrate. Save me! Chen Yi shouted in his heart but he could not make any noise. He could not move at all, none of his methods could be used. Even Karma Divine Tree Killer move was unable to be activated. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1710, Limitless Left Path. Chapter 1710, Limitless Left Path. 1. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Heavenly Court. The originally white sky became covered in 7 colored rainbow lights. A huge immortal Gu house was floating in the sky. It was truly an incredible immortal Gu house. It had 3 floors of altars, grand and magnificent. There were multiple pillars holding each floor up, having white jade railings and shining aurora. It was the rank 8 Luck Path Immortal Gu house, Calamity Luck Altar. In the past, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had personally constructed it, it was one of his 3 immortal Gu houses that he used. Originally, Calamity Luck Altar was left as Longevity Heaven's foundation, but this time to attack Heavenly Court, they actually brought it along. Such an act showed Longevity Heaven's confidence, many of Heavenly Court's Gu immortals felt very worried. Fairy Ziwei frowned deeply. Even Duke Long had a solemn gaze in his eyes. However, his attention was not on Calamity Luck Altar, but the rainbow lights in the sky instead. Duke Long said in a low tone, Calamity Luck Altar and the Longevity Heaven Gu immortals alone cannot break in here easily. This 7-colored rainbow light is of rank 9 level, it must be the work of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Fairy Ziwei was dazed before realization shined on her face. According to Heavenly Court's records, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was once invited to tour Heavenly Court. Did he create this backdoor secretly at that time? That should be the case. Duke Long said. Fairy Ziwei's expression turned grim, this Giant Sun Immortal Venerable is truly crafty. He had already planned to invade Heavenly Court so long ago, his scheme was so deep. All past Venerables have great wisdom, they cannot be underestimated. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable possessed luck path methods, he secretly set this arrangement and we could not discover it until it was used now. Duke Long sighed as he shook his head, having a complex feeling. Back then, when Giant Sun became venerable, he did it through luck path. It was a huge obstruction to Fate Gu. Back then, Heavenly Court's leader, Golden Hooped Great Immortal, made a plan and specially invited Giant Sun Immortal Venerable to tour Heavenly Court, telling the world that they were inviting Giant Sun to join Heavenly Court openly. After considering it, Giant Sun agreed to the invitation and went on to look around Heavenly Court. Golden Hooped Great Immortal personally led Giant Sun Immortal Venerable as they went to look at the important places in Heavenly Court, especially the places that Limitless, Reckless Savage, and Red Lotus stopped at when they attacked. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable made a suggestion. He wanted to see Fate Immortal Gu. Golden Hooped Great Immortal did not reject him. They went up Heaven Overseeing Tower and saw Fate Gu. After Giant Sun left the tower, he remained silent along the way. After leaving Heavenly Court, he said that he had to reconsider the matter of joining them. This experience and the conversation between Giant Sun and Golden Hooped was clearly recorded in Heavenly Court's history with great precision. The power of rank 9 is truly unfathomable. We only saw Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's arrangements today. That is not strange at all. After all, he cultivated luck path, and we have little understanding of this path. However, even Spectral Soul Demon Venerable who managed to plant spies in Heavenly Court is in our captivity now. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable has died long ago. Only his Calamity Luck Altar and a bunch of Northern Plains Gu Immortals are here to attack us now. How can my Heavenly Court fall so easily? The hall resounded with old man Fang Yuan's voice. Fairy Zi Wei nodded, but she still frowned. Calamity Luck Altar is not an ordinary rank 8 Immortal Gu house. It was once owned by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. It is a pity that Prince Feng Xian did not join this invasion, otherwise we would have gotten information about Longevity Heaven's sneak attack in advance. But most importantly, how much force is hidden in Calamity Luck Altar? Wait, I think there isn't a lot. Because we did not get any news of this invasion by Northern Plains Longevity Heaven. They were able to keep it hidden so well, they must have kept it to a very small number of people. Fairy Zi Wei analyzed rapidly. You are not wrong, that is likely so. Duke Long nodded. Even though he stood up from his seat, his arms were still behind his back. He did not join the battle, as if he was waiting for something. At the next moment, the whole of Heavenly Court shook. Swoosh, like the howling of the wind, this sound was etched deep into everyone's hearts. Duke Long, Fairy Zi Wei, and old man Fang Yuan felt no surprise. They showed faint smiles on their faces. The killer move that Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable left behind has activated. Within Calamity Luck Altar, Longevity Heaven's Gu Immortals felt no surprise either. The information that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable left behind already described this. In fact, even without Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's information, Longevity Heaven had a number of true inheritances of the few demon venerables. Be it Reckless Savage or Limitless, they were Northern Plainsmen. The intel of their attack on Heavenly Court was in Longevity Heaven's hands. This is the killer move Chi Wall. Chi Wall killer move is very ordinary, but when Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable was at a young age, he was very skilled at it and enjoyed using it. When Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable became invincible in the world, this Chi Wall killer move was also elevated to rank 9. Longevity Heaven's Gu Immortals discussed as they manipulated Calamity Luck Altar, attacking the surroundings. The surrounding air started to produce ripples like a formless fortress. Only after facing a lot of attacks did it burst back into normal air. But soon, it gathered again into a formless fortress wall. The whole of Heavenly Court was reinforced by this air, resisting the invasion of Longevity Heaven. But for Heavenly Court's members, when they moved, the Chi wall around them would return to normal air. They would not be obstructed. Longevity Heaven's Gu Immortals made some attempts as they expressed shock on their faces. Indeed worthy of Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable. The ordinary Chi Wall killer move has the power of rank 9 in Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable's hands. It is even stronger than the Heavenly Wind Chi Wall. What do we do now? Five Elements Grandmaster had an ugly expression. He was very worried. He had just joined Longevity Heaven recently. He had only learned of the invasion several days ago. Five Elements Grandmaster's worry was very reasonable. If they could not get past this move, they would need to destroy all the chi walls along their path. The expenditure would be too high, they might not even make it to Duke long before their immortal essence dried up, they would be extremely tired. But it was too difficult to unravel this move. Firstly, it was a rank 9 killer move, only methods of similar level would be effective. Unless they possessed an extremely effective rank 8 killer move, it would not be useful. Secondly, after the changes of eras, Chi Path had already fallen out of common use, almost nobody from Longevity Heaven in this trip cultivated Chi Path. What could they do? Don't worry, we have our method. Even though this move is made by primordial origin Immortal Venerable, so many years have passed, eras have changed, after the invasions of 3 demon venerables, it already possessed flaws. That's right, back then, Limitless, Reckless Savage, and Red Lotus could not unravel this Chi Wall killer move even though they attacked Heavenly Court. They merely used their incredible strength to break through by force. They carved out 3 roads on their own. These 3 paths are the places where the Chi Wall is at its weakest and cannot regenerate. As long as we destroy a small area, we will be able to enter one of these 3 paths and follow the Demon Venerable's road to fight our way in. 5 Elements Grandmaster let out a sigh of relief, so that's it. Next, he asked, which path do we choose? At the same time. In the central Great Hall, Duke Long and Fairy Zi Wei conversed. Even though Chi Wall is powerful, it had been exposed long ago. Since Longevity Heaven is attacking now, they must be aware of its weaknesses, they will use the paths that the Demon Venerables created. Fairy Zi Wei nodded, recalling, the left path was created by Limitless Demon Venerable, it passes Central Heaven Gate, Name Plaque Palace, Sun Palace, 5 Deity Hall, Central Great Hall, Heaven Overseeing Tower, Forgotten Tao Lake, and finally, it stops at the Imperfection Regret Pavilion on the peak of Star Zone Mountain. The central path was created by Reckless Savage Demon Venerable. It passes Immortal Emperor Court, Hidden Space Pavilion, Summer Lake, Eternal Sand Cave, Million Heavenly King Gallery, Embroidered Tower, Central Great Hall, and ends at Heaven Overseeing Tower. The right path was made by Red Lotus Demon Venerable. He first went past Lotus Fairy Pond and Bright Moon Treasure Light Hall, followed by 12 Spiritual Paths, Separation Flame Pavilion, Magnetic Star Hill, Waterwood Clarity Court, Central Great Hall, and ends at Heaven Overseeing Tower. As long as they make their choice, we will be able to know their route and set up our defenses. Fairy Zi Wei's eyes flickered with the sparkles of wisdom. That is right. Duke Long had no objections. Boom boom boom. Calamity Luck Altar brought the few Longevity Heaven Gu immortals as they attacked the weak spot of the Chi Wall and went in. Once they entered, Longevity Heaven's group felt that the pressure was greatly lifted, the Chi Wall was barely existing here. Heavenly Court's Gu immortals also saw what happened. Fairy Zi Wei and Duke Long looked at each other, they chose the left path. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible.